Hey, I'm Matt with Generag, and today we're going to go over how to calibrate a Raven VSN with the Viper 4. So let's get started. So to begin with, we'll need to hit the UT button at the bottom of your Viper screen and then go into the Raven VSN object pool, and you'll see a machine selection window pop up. So to begin with, we'll select our machine type, and for our example, today we'll select rear boom sprayer. Next, we'll select our machine make, and we'll select Case IH. Finally, we'll select our machine model, and again, for our example, we will select Trident 5550. Once you have those three items filled out, go and hit the next arrow. And now it wants to know the distance from the camera lens to the ground, and it's pulling these numbers from the model that you selected. So it doesn't hurt to double check your measurements, but we'll leave 80 inches in there for now. Next, it wants the distance between the rear axle and the camera, and we'll leave that at 204 inches. Now it wants to know the angle of the camera. So it also knows from the model you selected, but again, it's a good idea to recheck your angle and put that degrees in there, so we'll leave that at 45 degrees. And finally, it wants to know the wheelbase of the machine, and that's at 170 inches for the Trident, and then we'll hit next. Now it comes up with our calibration summary, so double check your measurements and your settings, and if you're satisfied, go and hit the check mark. Now it wants to do a row spacing calibration, so we can go between 15-inch rows up to 40-inch rows, so select the row spacing button at the bottom of the screen. And for our example, we will select 30 inches. We'll hit next. And now to begin the actual calibration, we'll want to be in a field with around 100 yards of somewhat straight rows that are at least 4 inches tall, so we can get a good picture with the camera. And we'll want to run between 5 and 10 miles an hour to start the calibration. So once you're there and ready, you can hit start. And now you see we have our speed at 7.8. We see the calibration progress bar moving across. And if you look at the quality, that 76.2, 75, that's the quality that the camera is seeing of the crop. So that's good. We want that as high as possible as we're doing our calibration. If it drops too low, it will kick out your guidance. Once it beeps 3 times, that means the calibration is complete and we can hit the check mark. And this will take us now to the run screen of the VSN. So 3 things I want to talk about here is we have at the bottom we have our solution quality, and that's at 50%. So that is our disengage setting for the camera. So if our solution quality got down to 50%, that will disengage your steering, and you'll need to take the steering wheel and steer and take over. So to know where you're at the top of the screen, we have the picture of the VSN with the green surrounding, and right now it's at 76, 77. So we're in the range that the camera can run correctly. Know that you can lower the solution quality, but the lower you go, the more possibility that you have of running over crop if your stand is not very well. So next we have our camera furrow offset in the middle. Right now it's at negative 12.8. As you look at your road tracks, if you're too close to the left or to the right of the crop, you can adjust left or right with this setting here, and that will move your wheel track to the center of the row. So that completes the calibration and setup of the Raven VSN.